Oh no. Look at how it is now. You know I hate when this happens. Shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, I hit the button too soon. God damn it. All right, hang on. See if I can get, as long as I can get it to stand, I'll use the other phone, as long as the other phone connects. Shit. Wait, hang on. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm unplugging it. Hopefully. So stupid. Really dumb. All right, but now I don't know if you might not be able to see me because you know how it's always humped up. Nothing can be easier than this. Shit. Oh. See what you gotta deal with? Deal with me and being a little crazy. Okay. And. Okay. Well, I can kind of see my head in this one a little bit. Whatever, it's fine. You know what I look like. You're not missing much. My big fat head. Okay, so let's get cracking. The first question I have here is Mimi. I keep thinking about Dante and I feel her sad. Why? Is Dante sad? Bless you, baby. 70% chance, yes, she is sad because she feels right now the death card is in reverse, that things are not moving forward for her. She's kind of stuck between like stuck in quicksand. Things are not moving forward. But we're all feeling that way. So I don't blame her. I kind of get it. We're all kind of in that same situation right now. So you are onto something. She is feeling a little bit sad. She's feeling a little stagnant. Like, she may even have had like expectations or hopes that things were going to happen between, you know, now and this shutdown. I know. It's really, it screwed up everybody's life. So, yeah, she's feeling a little sad. You got that. Talia, may I have a general message? You are going to be feeling like you made it to the top of the mountain as you put an old heartbreak or wound in the past. Financial stability comes in, and you have general happiness coming in. The Sun card is like overall happiness on all levels. So you should be in a much better place coming up over the next couple of weeks, generally speaking, overall. Krista, how is Jay feeling about our conversation today? Overall, he feels pretty good. Overall, he feels like it's a good connection. He feels it was positive. There's a little bit of indecision around him, but for the most part, he's feeling celebration. He's feeling connected. He's feeling the Strength card and the Chariot are here, which would be that the conversation went well. Things are moving forward. He should be feeling good about this conversation. Sue, what are Adam's thoughts on reaching out to me? He's been thinking about it. So the Four of Cups would indicate that he's thinking about it, contemplating it. It doesn't look like he's reaching out soon, though, because the Ten of Cups is in reverse and the Tower is also in reverse, which could be a delay when it comes to time. But I think that you will be hearing from him eventually. It could be within the next 11 weeks. 11 days to 11 weeks. That's what it would be. 2 jacks just came out. New chapter. What can I expect from G after telling him off? Well, he's going to back up for a minute. So he's not persevering right away. He's going to take a minute. And he's like holding off on looking for a new beginning. But eventually he's coming back. It's also showing that either you step out of the box or he steps out of the box and does something out of character. Because he's looking to show you more appreciation. And he's also looking for balance and serenity to come back to the situation. So he may back up for a minute. He may lick his wounds. And then I think he's going to reach out to you again and try to make things better. Mimi, no communication since Friday. Did I offend her? I'm only getting a 33% chance that you offended her. The Knight of Swords is here, which means you should be hearing from her when you least expect it. Choco, why Ramon was not picking my calls up earlier. Feeling undecided, feeling a little bit like unsuccessful, feeling a little bit burdened. Something was going on around him. That's going to change, though. I think he's going to get back in touch with you. There was something going on around him, or he was just having a really bad moment and he didn't feel like talking to anyone. But I think he's going to get back to you. Susie, he summed to me like crap earlier, so I told him I was taking a break because I'm not. Oh, he spoke to me like crap before. So I told him that I'm taking a break because I'm not going to be spoken to like that. What does he think now? He's holding back. He feels very weak. He's feeling a little bit unbalanced. He's not connecting with his intuition. He may have sharp words for you again. The King of Swords is here, which means that he may say something again that's not too nice. If you speak to him again, I would take a break. You're right. Take a break. This guy is proving to be a lot of work. He thinks he's right now, so he doesn't think that he did anything wrong yet. That's going to change, though. He's going to realize it. It may take a couple of days, but he'll realize it. New chapter. Are things over for me and George for good? Well, it looks like here you're in control. So 70% chance, yes, things are over, but you've got the Nine of Wands in your back pocket here. So this is, you're calling the shots from here on out. If you want it to end, you can end things right now. If you want it to move forward, you can move things forward. The ball's in your court. Shay. Will I be laid off of my current job because of the virus? A lot of people are asking me that question. I'm going to answer, but then I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. All right, I get a 70% chance that you'll get laid off. So 70% chance is moderately high. Things could change. But my thinking is, it happens to us on a personal level all the time, where something out of our control happens and then that changes our life. Like, for example, when I was working full time, I just told the story. I did a private earlier this morning for someone. The story came up. When I was working full time, I worked in accounting for years. I did accounting for a company. And after I went and I got my certification to teach yoga, I was teaching when I could around my work schedule. But I was getting to the point where with my part-time job and teaching, I really felt like I could swing it on that money and that I didn't need to be at my full-time job, but I couldn't make the decision. Every time I thought about leaving or giving my notice, I got real anxious about it. So I just stayed. I stayed. It was like probably another year. And then what happened was they laid me off. So it happens to us. We don't make the decision. The universe is going to say to you, you've had enough and now you're moving on. So now you don't have a choice. Now go do what you're supposed to do. So what I'm feeling is that for a lot of people that are either at jobs that are just jobs for them, you know, like I just go there and earn a paycheck. It's not really feeding my soul. I'm not really getting much out of it on a spiritual level, or I'm just really using this money to pay my bills. I feel like a lot of us, things are going to change and we're not going back to the same thing that we used to do. So if you were to get laid off, I think it would be for the greater good for you, that it would push you in a direction where you would be doing something that would align more with you and your soul. And I think that that's happening with a lot of people. And I think a lot of things are going to change. I don't think that children's schooling is going to be the same. I think there's going to be a lot more options as to how you school your children, who teaches them, what they learn, and that kind of stuff. I think everything is starting to change. And while a lot of people will be getting laid off and furloughed and everything else, I also think that new opportunities are going to be coming in that are going to be better than before. So while it may seem really shitty, this is something I'm feeling really strongly, especially for people that are locked into like 9-to-5 gigs and they spend their whole day chained to a desk. I did it. Or, you know, or other things. Like there are some jobs where you have no choice. You have to work holidays or you have to work Christmas Day. I think that things are changing. So if it were to happen to you, I think it would be for the greater good, not for the worse. But a lot of people are having that same issue. You can't blame people. I mean, this is scary shit. Emma, will I hear from John Paul in the future and when? You will. And it could be within the next 5 days. Inez, what is Nima's intentions? I'm so confused. Oh, you dropped it, babe? Here, right here. There you go. He's not 100% sure yet what he wants, but he's going to be persevering. He's not going to give up right away. So he may be kind of giving you mixed signals, but I think that he's going to want to pursue things a little bit more steady coming up. It looks like he's a little bit more focused and that things are looking a little bit more like they're going to fall into place. Give it a little bit of time. Don't freak out over it. Just give it a little bit of time. Sister. And I don't see the question yet, so I'm not skipping over you, but when I get there, I don't want to lose my place. Beautiful Aries. Will I keep my job this year? Let's see. I'm getting a 33% chance that you keep your job. So, I mean, we're definitely in uncertain times, but I hate to say it, and like this is what I'm trying to say to other people, just like regular people in my life that are like upset about this. Just try to go with the flow and be open to the possible changes. I really believe that better things are coming, and I think that it's happening not just for us individually, but for the world. Like things are changing for the better for the world. People are losing jobs, they're going to find new jobs, but I also think partners, when you're not with the right partner, that's going to end. When you're, I don't know, being abused in some way, or you're in a shitty relationship, I think those things are going to end. I think brighter days are ahead. I really believe that. Sister, he never blocked me, but I can actually send him an apology message. But I actually sent him an apology message and he didn't open it. It's the first time I sent a message that he left unread. Is he playing games? I'm only getting a 33% chance that he's playing games. I only got one ace here. But I have the anxiety card here, and then I also have the lovers in reverse. So I wouldn't do anything else. I would leave it as is. I don't think that right now you're going to get anywhere with him. I think you got to give it a little bit of space. And I don't know. I don't know why he didn't open it. But I don't think that he's playing games. I think that he's sort of like he wants space right now. He wants to take a little break from all of this. So I would just sort of leave things the way they are. Sister. Was A not interested, or did they not know that I was generally interested? Is there a chance with us? Okay. I don't think that they really understood what was going on. Well, let me take a look again. Yeah, I don't think it was that they were uninterested. I do think that they have some decisions to make. They have some choices around them, and they're a little undecided. I'm not seeing a third party here. I don't think that they're involved with anyone else right now, but I do think that they may have choices and they're not exactly sure what they want. So I think that's why maybe things didn't take off. Once again, I would, I would give it a chance, because I got to tell you, I think that almost anything would be a healthier relationship than the one with the first guy. Because the first guy, like, he seems like a lot of drama, and like he's all over the place. And you never know what you're going to get from him. At least the second guy here, he seems like he may not be sure what he wants, but it doesn't look like he's not coming up as like being mean. The other guy comes up very mean. Not always, but when he's mean, he's mean. Sister, my friend T started a fight and then cut me off. And then my friend G just did something underhanded. And when I approached her about she gaslighted me, what's with the people starting with me right now? You know, this may be similar to what I just said. We're cleaning house on more than one level here. So people are being exposed for who they really are. And I think you're starting to see that in the people that are around you. And I think that cleaning out some of the people that aren't, I don't want to say worth it, because it's not that they're not worth it, but it's like some people are just more dramatic than others. There's some people that they thrive off of drama and they like to do things like that. It makes them feel important. And I think that you're going to be moving into a space where the people that come into your life are going to be more quality people, and you're not going to be dealing with these types. It shows here that you have a wish that comes true. You have choices around you when it comes to friends. And then you have other friends coming in. You have earth signs coming in, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. You also have fire signs here, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But these people seem to be of higher quality. Like they're not, you know, maybe maturity is the right word. Like think about the things that upset you when you were a kid. Those things don't bother you anymore because you've moved past it. Some people have not matured, and I don't think, you know, gaslighting people and manipulating people, that it's like not only is it immature behavior, but those kind of people are not going to prevail. Like the time that we're moving into, it's not going to work for them anymore. So this could be that you're starting to see who your real friends are and who you want to keep in your life and who you don't. And I think that they're starting to unveil themselves. I think you have a better bunch coming in. Allison, I understand that people are allowed to feel differently about two different people. I want to know how A feels about me, RN, compared to her girlfriend, Kat. How does A feel about me? Oh, right now compared to, okay. Well, it looks like with you, well, you seem to be a little bit more patient, compassionate, easygoing, and straightforward. The girlfriend seems to be a little bit more needy. She's got to put in a little bit more work, and she seems to be a little bit more time consuming. But once again, if the relationships are different, you know, if one person is your girlfriend and the other person is just a friend, it can be different for that reason too. But it does look like the relationship with the girlfriend is more work, and it can sometimes get exhausting. Where with you, it seems like there's a little bit more, it's a little more even keeled, and she appreciates that. There's like respect and appreciation around the way she feels for you. Where with the way she feels for the girlfriend, it looks like it's a lot of work. She's got to put in a lot of work. Susie, do you think it's mental health or drugs? All right. Is it mental health? I think it's mental health, but let's ask. See, I get 70% chance it's mental health. Now, I can ask if it's drugs, but the problem with that is that the devil card, if the devil card shows up, it could be drugs, whether they're prescription drugs or street drugs. They're still drugs. So let's ask. But it could be that they just haven't gotten him on the right medication. Like some people, they need medication in order to function, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they have to find the right kind. For the most part, I always suggest, or even for myself, I try to deal with things holistically as best I can, but sometimes people need more than that. So I get 70% chance too that there's drugs involved. But like I said, it could be that they're prescription drugs that are dealing with mental illness that maybe he hasn't told you about yet. Um, and then there's also another thing that you have to be concerned about is if you're on medication for one reason, and then if you're doing other things like smoking pot, how could that affect it? And I believe it can. I mean, pot is pot, but it's still a drug and it still can interfere with, it makes people paranoid. It makes people, it affects them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a drug. So I think that his problem more is mental health than it is like street drugs or drug addiction. TD, how's the Aries feeling today? Well, he may have had an argument with someone. There's an argument that shows up here. He's starting to feel like things are moving forward for him. So he may have had a breakthrough with something. He's starting to feel a little bit better. He's still kind of, things are not perfect. But he's feeling a little bit more focused, a little more happy, a little bit more on track. It looks like things are starting to move forward for him. He's got justice on his side here. He's got karma working for him. I think he's starting to get into a better place, which is a good thing. Kira, laid off, will I get a job or unemployment first? Damn. I think you're going to probably wind up with unemployment first. Shit. Unemployment first. Oh, man. Kira, how does Leroy's brother feel about me? Feels like you're ambitious, happy, spontaneous, caring, loving, successful, attractive. He feels good about you. He thinks highly of you. Kira, will I have to move from my apartment in May? Will I have to move from my apartment in May? I don't think you're going to have to move. I don't think you're going to have to move. I really do think that things are changing. And I also think that we're going to get more time. So, you know how like the taxes were just put off until July 15th? I think that's going to happen with other bills. I think things are going to get put off because we're all in this. It's not just like one person decides to spend their money at the track and, they don't pay their mortgage. Everybody is in the same boat. Nobody is going to work. And it's also very interesting that the people now, like grocery store employees, there was a time I worked in a grocery store for 1,000,000 years where people would talk to you like you were a piece of shit. But now it's like people are like realizing, hey, look, we need these people. So to my fellow coworkers that were still working at grocery stores, amen. God bless them. It's, it's bizarre the way things are working because most people can't go to work, but those people working in grocery stores, like you're giving them more hours than they can even stay awake. So it's like they're really benefiting from this in a bizarre way, even though they're at risk because they're out working in the public. Times are changing for all of us, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out. But what I've been told is to remain flexible. If you remain flexible, you're going to get through it with no problem. Emma, I probably have a message from JP I haven't read yet, but will he be reaching out again in the future if I completely disappear? Yep, he will. Anna, Christopher, general love. All right, what's going on with Christopher? Christopher is stressed out and isolating himself right now. So when the Hermit is in reverse, it's feeling like I'm not talking to anyone because I don't want to hear it. You know, it's not the kind of thing where the Hermit upright is like, well, let me, take some time to myself and figure out what I want. When the Hermit is in reverse, it's like I'm keeping my mouth shut because I don't want to hear anybody's 2 cents. So that's what's going on here. He's a little stressed out about something and he's keeping it to himself. He's not telling anybody. He also feels like he hasn't made it to the top of the mountain, so he's a little frustrated on that. But you know what? Like I keep saying, everyone's going through this. As far as love goes, he's got the Ace of Cups in reverse, so he's not feeling love right now. He's not thinking about love right now. He's just kind of getting through the day. However, moving forward, there is happiness around him. So once he starts to feel a little bit happier, I think you're going to see somewhat of a change in him. But he may be struggling over the next couple of weeks or so. I'm not surprised. A lot of people feel that way. Anna, this girl named Kat is Christopher's friends. What are her intentions towards him? I don't trust her. Well, if you and him together? Because if you and him are together, then you have to not trust him because there's nothing that she can do. If he's committed to you, then he should be committed to you. If he's not, well, then that's a whole other different story. But nobody can take away what's yours. Let's put it that way. So it doesn't make a difference who comes into his life. If he's committed to you and he wants to be with you, there's nobody that can threaten that. The only time somebody can threaten it is if you start to put fear out into the universe and you start vibrating in a low frequency like fear, then that's what's going to happen. And something is going to manifest because fear manifests very quickly. But if he's committed to you and he is yours, then it doesn't make a difference who tries to come in. Her intentions, well, I mean, she doesn't hold herself back. She sort of tells it like it is. And she does want things to move forward, but it doesn't look like she's like in love with him or anything like that. I think that they're friends. I just think that they're friends. But I think that the greater issue here is that if you're afraid, you're going to blow her up more. Like the more attention that you spend on something, right, the bigger it gets. So if you worry about her and you focus on her, she gets a lot of power. And then when she gets a lot of power, then she has more control. It's like you're vibrating in a lower frequency, so it gives you less control. It gives you, if you feel like somebody can come in and take something that's yours, nobody can take what's yours. Now, if you and him are in a committed relationship, then the person that you have to not trust is him. And if you don't trust him, he's going to show you exactly that he can't be trusted. So you got to watch what your thoughts are because it's what you're putting out into the universe is going to come back. So that to me is a bigger problem than Kat. And let me tell you, I've done it a million times myself. I can tell you about Sarah. I can tell you about, there's so many of them that I went through in my life and I did the same thing. Well, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? And then what happened was my boyfriend at the time or whatever the situation was wound up with the other person. It happened to me many times over the course of my life until I learned how to change the energy of it. Sarah, she was a real thorn in my side for years. Ashmita, when will life become normal again? Holy God, I have no idea. Those cards are just telling me now June. I can't wait till June. Things got to move forward before then. I don't know. I was originally thinking that before the end of April, things would go back to normal. But now I'm not so sure about that. And that card just said June. I'm hoping that it's not June. I'm hoping that it, I was originally thinking the middle of April. It's so frustrating. But like I said, if this is all for us to get to where we have to be, you know what I mean? Like, if people that are in miserable jobs are getting laid off and they can collect unemployment and then they find a job that really resonates with them, then it's for the greater good. If you're with a partner that you don't want to be with and then they expose themselves for who they are, blah, 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 and then you meet the person that you should be with, or that's, a different type of relationship, it's for the greater good. One of my teachers has been telling me that people's masks are falling off. So people are getting exposed for who they are. And if you've been legit and you're honest and you're true, then you don't have anything to worry about. If you're, doing shitty things or, whatever, being a bad person to whoever, then you're going to get exposed for who you are. And that's how it is. All right, I hope here that I can, I don't know if I'm, next one I have here is Kira on this list, but I don't know if I missed anyone here because this stupid thing's got to unconnect. Ashmita, can I expect any surprise on my birthday? %33% chance, yes, you can expect a surprise on your birthday. Inez, what's coming in towards me with Nima in love? All right now he's feeling a little stuck in the mud and he's feeling a little bit regretful over something that was going on in his life previously. So moving forward, I think it's going to take time before you see anything happen. I think that things are going to be a little stagnant for a while, maybe even a little bit out of balance. And you may have to give it some time. Things may not start to move forward until the sun is in Taurus. Kara, what can I expect from the month of April? Somebody from your past returns. Somebody from your past, there's going to be some spontaneity that happens. Success comes in the month of April. A wish comes true in the month of April. You may feel a little stuck at certain points in the month of April, but overall, it looks like stepping out of your box, taking a spin on the wheel of fortune, and things move forward nicely. You have love around you. You have an old friend coming back. April looks pretty good. Salome, what are Demario's current energy towards me? Okay. What's going on here with Demario? Success and a wish. They've got a wish around you and success. Or you have a wish around them and their success, but it's positive. The energy around the situation is positive and creative and successful. L. What's this birthday, May 2020, going to be like for me? I'm turning the big 3-5. Okay. It looks like it's going to be good this year. Things move forward quickly. Perseverance, and maybe even a new job opportunity. It looks like happiness on all levels with the 10 of Cups. A new love or a reconnection to an old love, a rekindling of an old love comes in. And it looks like you don't hold yourself back this year. Whatever you want, you go for it and you get it. Nicole, will I be able to move into a house this year? Oh, hello there, mister. Good boy. I think you will. I think you will. Kara, my relationship with Leroy in the month of April. First card that comes up is the 10 of Cups. Happiness on all levels. Moving slow and steady wins the race, but still happiness on all levels. I think that you're going to have a good time in the month of April. I think it's a good month for you overall. It also looks like you're not holding yourself back. You're not going to let anything stand in your way. You could have a reconnection, a rekindling with him. A spiritual connection too, or this could also be when the sun moves into Taurus that this all takes place. But I think things with you and him are going to be pretty good in April. Krista, talk with Jay made me sad. Should I hold back on communication? The cards don't suggest that you should hold back. Only 33% chance that you should hold back. The cards suggest that you might feel like you don't have a lot of choices, but not that you should stay quiet. Araceli, will I do a good job handling the CC project? Yes. Yes, you will. You'll be very successful. Emma, What might John Paul say if and when he reaches out? I can't tell you a conversation. I don't know. But I can kind of, let's see what the cards suggest. It would be something out of the blue when you least expect it. He would reach out. It would be lighthearted, carefree, and just like kind of checking in kind of a thing. It wouldn't be anything like, it would be something like, hey, just checking in or just seeing how you are, that kind of a thing. Kira, how did Andrea feel about the video of Leroy and I? Unbalanced and stuck in the mud. So I don't know who she is or why she would feel that way, but it does show unbalanced and like she felt stuck in the mud. Stephanie, how is T feeling about me? I didn't go to work, but I texted him. He feels a little bit unbalanced with the Two of Pentacles. He feels a little bit unstable. But he feels like you guys have a good connection. He's feeling a little bit unsuccessful, a little bit anxious. Once again, everybody's kind of going through that. And he's feeling like intuitively you can kind of sense what's going on with him. He normally feels very grounded, or this is how he feels. He feels like normally he's grounded and he's not himself lately. But between the two of you, he feels like there's serenity, or things are smooth, or things are okay right now. I think he just might be a little bit concerned about, what's going on here in the world. Nicole, what is on Jeff's mind about me? Well, he's feeling a little bit wounded. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Swords in reverse, is not a big wound, or it's getting over the wound. It's working past it. But he's feeling either a little bit hurt, or he's aware of how he's hurt you. That's what he's thinking. And he's feeling a little bit unhappy about it. Ten of Pentacles, again, I'm going to say Pentacles. The Ten of Cups in reverse, it's still a good card to get. So it's happiness on all levels when it's upright. When it's in reverse, it's like a delay that comes to happiness. But I think that he's aware of what he's done. And I think that it's weighing on his mind. Like his conscience is starting to get to him. And I think that's a good thing. Like he's starting to understand what he's done. Or how he's affected you. Stephanie, what did he think when I told him that my dad and son are sick? He's a little undecided. He doesn't know what to think. Because I think that he's kind of not sure what to think about this whole virus thing too. So he doesn't know. Like I think that he's thinking that they're going to be fine, but yet in the back of his mind, he's sort of concerned because all of us are like, but what if, but what if? But I think that overall he's a little bit undecided, but he really thinks that they're going to be fine and that they probably don't have it. Sue, how will my life be when I move to Minnesota for school? There's going to be a lot of happiness. There's going to be a fire sign around you that will be very significant. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. You're going to feel like it's your home and that you belong there. You're going to be happy there. There's like a whole new world that awaits you when you get there. I think that you're going to be in a very good place. Stephanie, did he contact Eve for her birthday or see her? And how is he feeling about her? I think that he either saw her or he spoke to her. There was something that went on her birthday. I don't know if he saw her. He may have just spoken to her. He still cares for her as a person. So it's difficult for him. You know, it's like he wants it to be over with her. And, you know, sometimes he may feel like sorry for her, but he thinks it's for the best that she goes. But I think sometimes he feels sorry for her. Sometimes he wishes that, like, things could have been different. But there's no going back. Not at this point. Danny, what does the ex-Daniel want? He's in and out. Okay, let's see what's going on with Daniel. Yeah, he's another one. So once again, he's got the Hermit in reverse too. So when the Hermit is in reverse, it's always like he's not talking because he doesn't want to hear anyone's shit. You know, it's that kind of a thing. When the Hermit is in reverse, it's I'm not telling you because I don't want your 2 cents. So he's a little bit heartbroken or getting over a heartbreak. He's not exactly sure what he wants. There may be a third party around him. There could be somebody else around him, and that's why he's in and out. And he wants to be in control. He feels like either now he feels like he's lost control or recently he felt like he's lost control. He wants to have options and he wants to be in control. Salome, I think I'm at. Salome, messages from the angels. Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. The Chariot, Archangel Metatron, an important achievement, self-discipline, willpower, public recognition. Seven of Water, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. All right, that was Salome. Let me see if I can use this one. Stephanie, why is he distant with me? Is he losing interest? I don't think he's losing interest. I think he's a little overwhelmed. He's got a lot going on. Salome, when will I hear from D? Could be 12 days to 2 weeks. Kira, would he choose his ex Andrea over me? Well, it comes up 70% chance yes. But here's the thing. If you put yourself in the position where you're competing with someone else, you're always going to lose. Like I explained to the last person that asked about somebody else. If he is yours, no one else can take him away from you. But if you're vibrating in the frequency of losing him to somebody else, then you're going to lose him. And I've proven that to myself over and over again. I've done it a million times in my life. I can tell you all about Sarah. And I mean, there's so many other ones, but Sarah was one that was a real thorn in my side for a long time. So if you keep putting yourself in situations where you're questioning whether or not he's going to go with somebody else, he's going to go with someone else, because that's the energy of the universe. Whatever you focus on creates more of. So, and if he is yours and he is supposed to be with you, then nobody can take him away. Nobody can. It doesn't matter who they are. And I've proven that to myself so many times. And then on the other side of it, you know, how many times have we seen a really good looking guy with like a really homely girl, or vice versa? When I was in high school, one of my friends had a sister who was really attractive. And she was dating this guy who was like a big fat dumpy thing. And it wasn't even like he had a great personality. He was like dopey. But for whatever, he thought who he was, and he wound up dumping her. You believe that? He dumped her. But anyway, my point is that, you know, there's too many, and it's usually women that do it. It's not, I don't usually hear it that much from men, where they're like asking about specific other women. And that's why there's so many women that cultivate these third-party relationships, or this push and pull between, well, is it her or me, her or me, her or me? That's what you're focusing on, so that's what you're going to get. Nobody can take away what's yours. Keep that in your head. Nobody can ever take away from you what is yours. And that's the truth. Emma, I sent him a message earlier telling him how I feel and why I'm acting the way I am, and I apologize. Why might John Paul want to reach out? Would it be because he still wants to meet up? Yeah, he still wants to meet up. I think that you guys are going to meet up. Kira, will Leroy make Thomas move out by the end of this week? Yeah, I think he will. Or it's going to be soon. He's looking to get him out soon. TD, Aries energy towards me in April. Spontaneous, fiery, passionate. I think that things are going to be more fun in April. I think you have more fun coming in around April than you did in March. Stephanie, I'm not reaching out to him like before. Is he wondering why? Or does he know it's because he's being distant? He doesn't know why, but I don't think that I think right now he's just, he's more of in a place where he just wants less drama and he's not really focused on why. He's just kind of going with it, like the way things are. I don't think he means to be distant, but I think that he needs a break from all of this. And I think that between work and everything else that's going on in his personal life, I think he's just like kind of backing up, like he's kind of like taking space. So he's not really focusing on why, and he's not really trying to be distant. It's just he's trying to like almost like protect himself. Kara, how does he feel about Andrea? Baby, you're slouching. There, that's better. Well, he feels like, I mean, they had a past together. You know, he cares for her. You know, he doesn't want to see, he wants her to be happy. But for whatever reason, their relationship didn't work. It was very unsuccessful. I think it had to do with a third party. One, either her or him, somebody was involved with somebody else. And I think he feels bad about the way things went down, but I think he thinks that she deserves to be happy, but it's just not going to be with him. What's the matter, Bobby? You look like you're about to bust out and cry. Let's not do that. Yeah, all right. How does Leroy feel about me? Well, you know what? It looks like he wants to talk to you, or there may be more communication between the two of you. It looks like he's a little out of balance. He's a little bit upside down. He also has a lot going on around him. But when it comes to you, he's going to be a little bit more direct. He wants things to change with you for the better. He thinks there's more to come from this situation. He wants happiness around the situation with you. And he feels like there's been too much bullshit going on lately. And I think he wants to get things on like a stable ground. Stephanie, does he miss me and want to see me? I think right now he's looking for like a little bit of space. I don't think that you've been apart that long for him to really miss you. I mean, when did you see him last? It doesn't look like there's been too much time since the last time you saw him. To be honest, he looks like he's a little overwhelmed and he needs a little bit of time. That's how he looks. That's what keeps coming up. So I think that in order for someone to miss you, you have to not see or speak to them for quite some time. Otherwise, you're still kind of there. Salome, how does Holly see me as a person? How does Holly see me as a person? Thinks that you're nice, you're pleasant. that you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. You're successful, but sometimes you're a little undecided. She thinks that you are, that you have a lot of potential to be very successful in life. I also think that she thinks that you're funny and charismatic. Kira, how did Leroy feel about being at my apartment for 3 days? Felt good about it. Cause for celebration. He felt good about it. It was a good time. Or he felt very comfortable there. Could be he felt comfortable there. All right, looks like I made it through the super chats. So I am going to go back up to the top. Where am I here? Rara. Can I know what are the thoughts and the intentions of Thelina towards me? Okay, what's going on with Thelina? Well, this person is feeling a little bit less weighed down. So whatever your situation is with this person, there's it's starting to lighten. The energy around the situation starts to lighten. There's love between the two of you, or she cares for you, or he, I don't know. I would think Thelina is a female's name. Either way, it doesn't matter. There's love that comes in. There's also money around this situation. So this person may want to give you money. They may want to help you out with something. I don't know. There's a substantial amount of money that can be coming in around this situation. And that the situation changes quickly, and there is like you step out of your box. So I don't know what your relationship is to this person, so it's hard for me to tell you, but it looks like stepping out of the box or taking a risk brings your relationship with this person to another level, and there could be money involved in it. I'm going to go back up to the top. Brianna, how is Aaron feeling about me today? Okay, how is Aaron feeling? How is Aaron feeling? Actually, he feels very good today. He feels like the world is at his feet. He feels very connected to you. He thinks that you're attractive, kind, sweet, nurturing, supportive, a hard worker. Feels good about you. Where the heck am I? Baby Lavender. If I'm consistent, will the subliminals work? I think they will. I think they will. I think that there's also something in convincing yourself that they will work, makes them work. And I think that if you're consistent with them and you're, you know, it's similar to like doing a spell or a prayer. You're doing something, you're putting energy into it. So it should work out in your favor. If your intentions are, you know, pure, it should work out in your favor. I think that you'll be successful. All right, I'm going back up to the top. Oh, I did that one. Okay. Sonia, is Nad genuinely spying on me for D, or is he spying to gossip on me with D and others at WHP? Okay. I think that he's spying or investigating because he wants to be the one that has the information. I think that's what he's doing. He wants to have a heads up, and like he's like the hub of communication or the hub of information. I don't trust this one. I don't like it. It's like it makes him feel important or something like that. I don't care for it. Brianna, what's coming up in my love life? All right. Oh, you have magic around you. So you can cultivate anything that you want. Somebody comes in out of the blue if you're not with anyone. This is like out of the blue, somebody comes in. You have happiness around your love life. You have a relationship that's built on solid ground. It could be with a Taurus. If it's not a Taurus, there's an air sign here. A Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini, and you should be feeling very stable. The relationship should be something that's stable, and you should feel confident in it when it happens. Stephanie, I feel like things aren't going anywhere, and I should move on. I think that he's more in E and misses her, and he's not worried about me. Okay, let's see. Well, there's a couple of things here. So if you can look at it like this, the situation with E is one thing, the situation with you is another thing. And they don't have to affect one another. So there's part of him that is mourning this relationship with E because they were together and whatever happened, happened, and he's still working on getting over it. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't care about you and that he doesn't want things to move forward with you. He just can't move things forward as fast as you want him to. So in that event, if you don't think it's going anywhere and you've given it enough time, then I would say it's your call to move on. You got success around you, you can move on. But I think that if he means something to you and you want to give it a chance, you have to give him a time to get out of what he was in and be ready to move into something else. There are not many people that can just, end things. Like it's very hard for most people to end things, even when they're bad, even when things are bad, even when somebody has been treating them terribly. I mean, we have people, we see it all the time. Oh, is he going to be, like, is he going to be with me now? Is she out of the picture totally? Like, these people are hurt, right? You could be legitimately hurt by somebody, but still want them to come back or still be mourning the relationship. So the one thing doesn't have to do with the other. It's like he's got this thing that's ending and it's painful and sad to him regardless of what's happening here. They're two different situations for him, and he has a hard time with. It's not so much that he can't, separate the two of them. He can, but it's like he feels like he doesn't have enough time. There's a normal grieving process when you end a relationship. Even if you don't want to be with the person anymore, even if that person has done something shitty, people get hurt all the time, but they still want to be with the other person, or it still hurts them. It's not, there are very few people, none that I know, that can just go like this and walk away and like, okay, that's it. So, the decision is going to be yours at the end of the day as to what you do. If you feel like you've given it enough time and he's not moving forward fast enough, then it's your decision to walk away from him. That's fine. And you'll find someone else. But I think that for him, where he's coming from, if you can see it from the other perspective, it's like he's got two scenarios going on. It's not like, they broke up 10 years ago. Like it's different. Like if you're with someone who was like divorced 5 years ago, that's over. That's a dead horse. That's most of the time they don't even fight with each other anymore. They don't even care. And if they don't have children together, they don't even talk to each other anymore. And if they do, it's because they really don't care. But I think it's too fresh for him right now. He hasn't, like she just moved out like last week, and he's just not ready to get into something so fast today. It's going to take him some time. And if you don't want to give him that time, that's your choice. You can walk away from him. Baby Lavender, is it time for me to leave my current job or should I stay? I want to tell you to stay right now only because of this virus, but let's see what the cards say. All right, I wouldn't tell you to leave. My battery here is dying. I wouldn't tell you to leave your job right now, but it does show that you're going to have choices. So hang out and wait for the choices. All right, let me cut off the super chats now because my phone is going to die, and I can't plug it in when it's this way because the plug is there. And I'll be back on tonight at 10 o'clock, or 9:30, I think I said. 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. Stephanie, he gives me a little, and then he pulls away. Puts me on hold. I'm confused, and I feel like he doesn't care, and he doesn't realize what he's doing, even if I wait how long. Well, you know what? It's the process. There is no, like, I can't give you a specific date that he's going to be over this, but imagine like if you were in the situation. Like I think about this myself. Like for the most part, forever, right? I lived alone. And I pretty much could answer my phone at any point because I live alone, right? I'm not really wrapped up here with anybody else. And when somebody doesn't answer my text message, and I'd be like, well, what the hell are they doing? They can't answer me. But then when you look at it from a different perspective, now things change. So my father comes in from Florida, and I'm at my brother's house, and then my dad's cousins come over, and it's a regular day, but yet there's people in and out, and my phone is on the table in the kitchen, and I haven't looked at it in hours. So now, right, the shoe is on the other foot. Now I'm like, oh God, he's texted me 12 times. I haven't answered him. And I don't want to talk to him right now because I'm busy doing something else. So my answers now are short because I'm answering the questions, and they're not lovey-dovey because it's like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. So it's different, right? Now, when you're in that situation, when you're the one that's in the situation, right, and you're the one that's holding the phone, it's like, well, where the hell is he that he can't answer me? And what the hell is he doing? But when you're the one that's in the situation, it's like, relax, man. I'm with my dad. Right? So if you put yourself in the situation and you can understand where he's coming from, it'll be less painful for you. On the other hand, you don't have to wait for this guy at all. You can keep your options open. Somebody else shows up tomorrow, you could tell him where to go. I'm okay with that. I think that's, you deserve that. You should be able to have that option. But if you look at it from the other way, if you've ever been in a situation where I was with my ex-boyfriend, Tom. Tom is a great guy. Towards the end of our relationship, we were totally toxic to one another. But as it was ending, as painful as it was, I mean, I had a crush on someone else. He didn't show up. I didn't care. I was like, oh, I want to talk to this guy anyway. But yet it was still very painful to let go of that. And it was painful. Like I remember at one point crying to my friend and saying that, it's like as painful as it is to be with him, I feel like it's more painful to the idea of living without him. But we get through it. And it doesn't happen like on Tuesday, January 3rd. It's like it happens when it's like a gradual thing. Like it just starts to dissipate, and you can't put a time on it. Things could get better, and things will get better, and he won't always be like this. but it's a process. And I mean, I've been through it. I totally get it. And I've also been the one with Sarah. And when is Sarah going to be gone? And how come she gets to do all this? And how come this, that, and the next thing? So I totally get where you're coming from. But if you look at it from his perspective, you can see a different side of it. So hopefully that helps. All right, let me get to the moderators because I think that this phone is going to die. And I have to pee really bad. Oh, I have 3 more super chats. All right, then let me plug the phone in, even if it's got to go sideways. And let me run to the bathroom before I have another issue. All right. Just leave it like that. Be right back. Okay, let me see if I can get it on this one. Probably not. The hell with that one. I'll just do it here. All right, I have 3 more super chats that I missed. Inez, will the relationship between me and Nima develop? 70% chance, yes, the relationship with you two can develop. Beautiful Aries. Will the reason I won't have a job be because I quit? I don't know if my passion turned into a nightmare or if I'm just overwhelmed. Okay. Am I just overwhelmed? I'm only getting 33% chance that you're overwhelmed. I think there's more going on there than you just being overwhelmed. I think you may feel that maybe it's not resonating with you as much as you thought. And I don't know if it's going to be because you quit or if it's because something else is going to come up that kind of grabs you more. But I think there's more going on here than you just being overwhelmed. Sue, what does Adam feel when he stalks my YouTube? I don't know why heartbreak always comes up around him. He's got heartbreak here. I don't know how you can tell he stalks your YouTube, but it shows heartbreak. And it shows that he feels a little bit overwhelmed. But once again, I don't know how can you tell if he's stalking your YouTube? Um, I think I missed someone. If I missed you, send the question with blue hearts. Lydia. I've been feeling scared, insecure, and anxiety of falling in love with Mac. Any advice? Let's see what the cards say first. Then I'll give you my 2 cents. I know the curtain's in the way, but this is the best I can do right now. Well, yeah, the card does show that you got some fear here and feeling unprepared. However, you do make it to the top of the mountain and you get past it. You can get past it, definitely, with a little bit of work. So here's my thing. If you're afraid, right, and you have a lot of fear, you put that out into the universe, it tends to manifest really fast. Like, think about something that really terrifies you. It manifests fast. Like, other women showing up, that manifests super fast, because men don't really need, like, they're attracted to everybody. They don't care, whatever. It might not turn into a relationship, but it could turn into a hookup, and that's enough to hurt a woman. Like, we get hurt by that. Whereas men, like, I don't think that men and women are just different, especially when it comes to sex. But the more you idle in fear and put fear out there, the more chance you have of cultivating fear. My advice is always to proceed with caution. But if this person has not given you any reason to think that they're doing something shitty, or, you know, using you for one reason or the other, or, and like the whole using you for sex kind of a thing, listen, in this day and age, you can get sex anywhere. So I don't even think that people using each other for sex really exists that much anymore, because it's so easy to get laid these days. But I think that if you're going to be afraid, the only person you're really going to end up hurting is yourself. He hasn't done anything yet that should make you feel so afraid. Proceed with caution. You don't have to put your heart on your sleeve, and you don't have to, be super vulnerable. You can keep some space and some distance, but you don't, still, I wouldn't cut this guy out, and I would try to, when you start to feel fearful, the best thing that you can do is affirmations. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am lovable. I know it sounds really corny, but it helps. Because all of us have that inside us where we're like, well, what if he doesn't, choose me? I mean, everybody has been there. Everyone has been in that situation. And what happens is that goes out into the universe very strong. And then that's how you manifest something really awful. And then you prove to yourself that you were right. You see, I knew he was going to do it to me. Look what he did. See, I knew I couldn't trust him, and I can't. So my suggestion is proceed with caution, but don't give up on it. You could be with this guy, 6 months from now and be like, I don't even know what I was afraid of. You could be in a really good place with him and, be like, oh my God, I can't believe. But we have to look at our own actions. And unfortunately, hindsight is 20/20. So we can look back and see what we did and see how we screwed things up for ourselves. But we want to try to correct that moving forward. You're interested in him. You guys are clicking. Things are going really well. So rather than cutting it off before you can even get there, just be cautious. You don't have to be super available for him, but I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't end it. It's okay to be a little bit afraid. We're human. We don't want to be hurt. Listen, as human beings, there's a few things we want. We don't want to be hurt. We want to be loved. And we want to be accepted. We're pack animals. So we're all in that same situation. All right, let's see who else I have here. Blessed to be. How does N feel about me and our connection? He feels like it can be very successful. He feels like lucky. He feels like there's some hard work that needs to be done, but that you guys have a decent connection, and he's willing to put in some work. Inexplorable. The Sag's brother saw me yesterday with TJ. Will he tell the Sag? And if so, How will he feel? Ah. Fuck. I don't think that he's going to tell him. I don't think it either is going to come up or he's not going to remember. I don't think that he told him. I think there was another one from Lydia that I didn't do. Right? There was one from Lydia. I thought that I saw it pop up. Yeah. Oh my God, you're welcome. No, it's okay. Listen, it's okay to be self-protective, but if you think about it, you know, like we all feel that way. Look at all the questions that we get in the chat room. What do you think? We all haven't been there. We're all living the same thing. We're all in the same boat. I mean, we're humans, you know, and nobody wants to be hurt. Everybody wants to be accepted, and everybody wants to be loved, whether they tell you that or they don't. It's the truth. All right, now let me do the moderators, and then I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back on at 9:30 if anybody has questions. I have to eat dinner. Mel, I made a conscious decision to cut the cancer off due to lack of communication. He's allergic to the phone. What's next for my love life? Okay. You've got the world at your feet coming up and feeling very well respected. So somebody's coming in that's going to be a quick mover, fast mover with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They're going to be very passionate. They're going to be very stable. They may even have some money. You might feel like like it was meant to be, and it could be a Sagittarius with the Temperance card. Things could change overnight. Now, you could have a spiritual connection with them, or they may be a Taurus. There's a Taurus and a Sag coming in, or it could be a Taurus or a Sag, or it could be a spiritual connection to the Sagittarius. But I think that you're going to have more than one choice. Who else is here? Zara's here. I think that's the only two moderators that are here, right? So Zara, let me answer a question for you. What is the energy between me and the Taurus for the month of April? Okay. Okay, it could be a little up and down. So it looks like, excuse me, first love energy, then arguments, and then unsuccess. So it may be a little up and down for April. Things may start off okay, and then there may be an argument is sometime in April where it gets argumentative. But that's okay. It's just maybe something that the relationship needs to go through. It's not something that's too terrible. Oh, Brandy's here? General, okay. Feeling prepared. Feeling prepared to let your life move forward. You may be a little bit undecided on what you want to do with life or where you want to go, but you are prepared to make changes. Moving forward, you have happiness coming in. You have being focused on a new business opportunity, a new way of making money. It may be even a new job coming up. Feeling very passionate, too, around a new love that may be coming in. There could be a new love coming in over the next couple of months. So I think that you have some good stuff happening. A new job or a new business opportunity, possibly a new love coming in, and feeling like a new like zest for life in general, which is good because a lot of people are feeling a little stagnant these days. All right, I'm going to go now, but I'll be back on at like 9:30. I'm going to have dinner. I have to do a private, and then I'll be back on in a little bit. All right, I'll see you guys in a little while. Bye-bye.